What's good, y'all boys? Welcome back again to another video. It's your boy, Boss Enosh. You feel me? If you're new here, welcome. If you've been here before, welcome back. Today, we are reacting to Piers Morgan, the female Andrew Tate, Pearl Davis, on why she thinks women shouldn't vote. This came out 20 hours ago. It's at 1.7 million views. A lot of comments. And look, we've seen Just Pearl things a couple times recently. I think she's become more and more like extreme and the stuff she be talking about. Some of the shit she be saying is facts, though. I agree. Just like with most shit. A lot of shit I see in Red Pill, I understand that makes sense and stuff I already understood. But some things she says I don't necessarily agree with. Like she be saying women shouldn't vote, divorce should be outlawed or shit like that. And I'm guessing that she's going to. It seems that she's going to talk about that on Piers Morgan. I think they had some like a feminist on there, so I guess that's gonna be her opponent, her combatant. But yeah, let's see how they break shit down, bro.
Welcome back to Piers Morgan Uncensored. Pearl Davis has racked up a legion of online followers and plenty of breathless newspaper coverage by sharing her incendiary views on modern feminism. The New York Post called her the female Andrew Tate. So she tapped into genuine female pushback to the excesses of wokery, or is she just an attention seeker? We'll find out in a moment. But first, let's take a look at the clip that sent her viral.
What clip?
A lot of people think I'm insane because I don't think women should vote. Everybody thinks I'm crazy for this opinion. If anything, this is probably my most extreme opinion. 90% of women have been on birth control. 1 out of 3 women has had an abortion. 1 out of 3 women has an STD. Average body count is over 5, so that your average wife has slept with over 5 people. 95% of women are not virgins on their wedding days. So I understand the complaint.
I wonder if the voting part was connected to all the other stats that she just listed off, or they just cut it weird. I don't know. I really can't agree with that women shouldn't vote thing. Women are taxpayers. Women contribute to society, bro. Like, why'd you say they can't vote? Yeah, that's just a weird thing to say. You know what I mean? Like, what if somebody starts saying, oh, black people shouldn't vote? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? This is weird. I think the 2 arguments I've seen from her is that the selective service thing, women have the right to vote, but they don't carry the same responsibility, as in they don't have to get drafted. I'm like, I don't like, what does that mean? You know what I mean? If we're fighting a war, we're trying to fight a war that we want to win. Do you want men soldiers? Do you want male soldiers or female soldiers? Which one? Which one is going to do better? You want the biggest or strongest soldiers. So, I don't know. And even like World War II, when the men were fighting, right? Who was here maintaining shit? They had the women stuck working those jobs, like the factory jobs and shit like that. Is what it is. But like, you know what I'm saying? If everyone's fucking, like, it's like, what are we talking about? And I think the other reason was like, oh, women are emotional voters. But I don't really know how I feel about that too. Because, yeah, I feel like women are more emotional than men. But if you look at Democrats, Republicans, both sides appeal to their voter base through logic and emotion, right? Both of them. If you look at like Trump people, right, or Republicans, they talk about shit that's like, oh, look what these people are doing, da-da-da-da-da-da, and get you riled up, get you worried. Some people get you scared, you dig what I'm saying? And you go vote because it makes sense to you. Same thing with Democrats. Look what they're doing. Look what these people are doing. They're anti-gay. They're anti-women. They're anti-black. Look, see. And they show certain things that does make sense. That makes sense to them. It also appeals to their emotion. They're gonna go vote Democrat. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't know how you can really measure that, because you could argue that both men and women vote emotionally. But I know I seen a stat though where it's mainly single women. Mainly single women that go and vote Democrat, though. Mainly single women. I forgot the actual numbers, but when you look at single women voting for Democrat and single women voting for Republican, shoo, and it's the same thing with single men. But then if you look at marriages, women that are married, women that are in relationships, they vote for Republican more. Men that are married, men that are in relationships, they vote Republican more. So it's pretty interesting.
Okay, well, Pearl joins me now alongside political journalist Ava Santini, who was nodding furiously along there to everything she heard. Right, Pearl, you've be called the female Andrew Tate. How do you plead?
Well, I take it as a
Hannah
compliment.
Pearl Davis.
I'm a fan of Andrew.
Name's Hannah?
Of everything he says?
It depends what we're talking about, but overall, I think he's got a good message. I think he's good for young men.
Okay, look, you're talking about women predominantly, which is why you've got this big following. And your view is that modern feminism is deeply flawed. I would argue a lot of your proposals, like taking the vote away from women, are deeply regressive. Why would you want to remove, just from yourself, the right to vote?
Well, what happened was I had the same view, right? Back when I started, I was like, why? I found out that only 5% of women wanted the right to vote. And I couldn't figure out, like, why would women not? No, it's true. It's true. You look it up.
At the time.
At the time.
Because they've been
Oh,
conditioned.
yeah, that's true. That's true. They didn't want to vote. They didn't want to do. They didn't want to deal with all that shit they had to deal with, that men had to deal with. That's why.
By men.
And matter of fact, when a lot of like women were fighting for women's rights, there's plenty of women that was like, they wasn't going for it.
Shouldn't have a vote.
I mean, that's what they say, but, you know, I started reading their writings, right? And what I found out was that the reason a lot of women advocated for it was because they believed it was the beginning of the breakdown of the family. You know, before you became one in marriage, 85% of people were married. And, you know.
See, look, I have a hard time believing something like that. You like, when these type of topics, you have to have your receipts. You have to be able to cite what you're talking about. The reason I say that, because what she said that she read writings from way back then. And she said that they said that the reason was breakdown of the family. That sounds like something that's more of what is said in the modern day. That's why it sounds kind of weird. Like, you're saying that these motherfuckers from all the way back then wrote about why they don't want to vote because it's the start of the breakdown of the family. That's a modern day talking point. So it's like, you gotta cite it, bro. You gotta cite the source. I ain't gonna lie to you.
No, I hate to say it, but they were right. What has happened 100 years later?
What's that got to do with them having the vote?
Well, it also goes back to responsibility. Again, men are 80 to 90% of the military. They run all of the infrastructures that make society run. So I just think if we want an equal say in society, then be equal. Do 50% of the hard jobs. Be 50% of the military. In the U.S., they're fined $250,000 if they don't join selective service, which is essentially the draft.
Okay, but specifically on the vote, what would having the right to vote have to do with family cohesion, for example?
Well, because again, before you weren't trying to divide a family. It was one family unit. You had one vote for the family. I mean, I don't think it's good for a family to have two votes.
Ava, your mouth seems to have dropped about...
No, do you know what
That's kind of weird. I don't know. It seems like pretty much they're trying to push the idea of it seems like trying to push against being an individual a little bit. Like, I support families all the way, you know. Yeah, we need more families, more strong families for sure. Especially in the black community, family is getting weaker and weaker and weaker. You know what I'm saying? But to say one family, one vote, I mean, everyone's different. Everyone has their own interests, their own opinions, their own ideas. That don't really make sense.
Oh, I know.
No, it's just sort of a bit galaxy brain. I feel like, you know, the stats that you're putting down are perhaps correct in some universe.
Which stats?
They just kind of don't really add up. I mean, just to take you back to the to the women's writings that you've allegedly read. I mean, at
allegedly?
The time, well,
what do you mean allegedly?
At the time that you're talking about, you know, women weren't really...
Yeah, allegedly. You said something and didn't back it up. You didn't even say none of their names or nothing. He just said, I read these writings. What writings? What are you talking about?
Allowed to go to school.
Yes, they were.
Write.
Yes, they
so
were. That's incorrect. The first female property owner was in the 1600s. The idea that women couldn't work and couldn't.
I'm so sorry, but that will be
Who was the first female property owner? What's she talking about? Who is the first female property owner? The courts ruled the Betsy was the legal property owner, and her husband did not have rights to their personal property. That was the first case rule providing women control their own property. Betsy Love. Let's see. Is that the 1600s? Or is she referring to something else and just framing it that way? The subsequent passing of the Mississippi Married Women's Property Act of 1839 set the standard for American women to control their own property. So what's she talking about 1600s? What's she talking about? This is what I mean by, cite what you're talking about. If you're just saying a random number and it's not enough frame of network.
The first female millionaire was in the late 1800s.
And was that inherited?
No, it wasn't. It was self-made.
Yes,
it was.
Who?
Yes, it
and
was.
She never inherited land.
She
Who
did
is
not.
that? Who is that? I don't know. Oh, C.J. Walker. Adam C.J. Walker. Black Power. That's Black History, boy.
permitted that?
What?
What law permitted that?
Well, there was no law. I mean, there's always been women that were influential in
let's
history.
let's get on to the vote. So what I don't understand is, you know, a part of your message, I've researched you today, and hang on a minute.
Okay.
You know, your big push is that you care about men and you don't think that men are getting enough of a say. But
Well, I care about
hang
women
on,
too.
I haven't
Care
made
about
the
women
point
too,
yet. Because of feminism, okay? What I wonder is when you start making calls out like repeal the 19th, women shouldn't be allowed to vote. How is that helping young men? Because these young men have women in their lives, they have mothers, they have sisters, they have teachers, and they turn around, they don't know how to act around women because you're giving them license to be misogynistic.
I wouldn't call it misogynistic. I say be equal. So again,
I
men
think
do
that's what
all of
most
the
feminists are
Well,
saying.
then okay, I'd love for the feminists, please apply for the oil rigs. Please go do the hard jobs in society.
Why
They're
don't you
open,
go and
they're
work there?
hiring, because I don't equate for, I don't think men or women are equal until we do the
Right.
equal work. So no, listen. Go apply to be on the oil rigs. Go be a plumber, go be an electrician, go be on the front lines of the military, and then we should have equal rights. But until feminists are willing to do that, I don't believe we should have the freedom without the responsibility.
So because men and women don't work an equal amount of the jobs, right? They don't get equal rights. That's what she's saying. Because there's not an equal amount of women that are garbage men that do garbage or work on oil rigs, they don't get equal rights. Yeah, that sounds pretty retarded. You know, that sounds very retarded. Because there's not an equal amount of men in healthcare, right? There are jobs, there are fields that are, let's look. These are the top 10 industries dominated by women. Personal care, so healthcare workers, take care of old people, teaching, beauty, diet and nutrition, customer service, administrative, medical. So why don't men sign up to be teachers, huh? Because men don't want to be teachers, then, you know, you don't get the right to vote. You don't get equal rights. And it's like, bro, of course men are going to be doing the more physically tasking jobs. Why would a frail, skinny woman want to go work in an oil rig? Why would she want to go work construction? Why would she want to go be a fucking electrician and climb them tall ass poles that be in the middle of nowhere? Why would you want to do that? It's a stupid argument, bro. It's dumb.
I don't think that I'm physically built for that. You might be, but I'm absolutely
That's
not.
a bit-
No, but you.
Wow.
You said
But you know,
you're
maybe that's her point. Maybe that's her point. Oh, see, men and women aren't equal. See, so therefore, da 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 da. I'm like, yeah, no, we're not equal. We're not all the same. You know what I'm saying? We're equal as human beings. We're not the same.
Wow.
You said you were a volleyball player, and so you've got more strength than I do. I don't think.
But
that
I don't
can
have more
do those
strength. I don't have
jobs.
more strength
But
than
I'm
the
not
average
going to take your
man.
right away to
I don't
do
have
it.
I don't have more strength than the average man. But again, it goes back to go be a plumber. You want to be equal, go be
That's
equal.
not
You also, but you want divorce to be made illegal.
Yes.
Why?
Yes, because I don't think what we have today is really marriage. What is marriage? It's for better or for worse, for richer or for poorer, in sickness and in health, till death do us part. That's what marriage is supposed to be. But feminists have ruined marriage for the people that actually believe in marriage.
How?
When there's a 50% divorce rate, and the average marriage
Why is that all
8
down to the
years.
women, though?
I didn't say that it was all down to the women.
So why
But
feminists ruin it?
you asked why I want divorce to be banned.
Yeah.
Can I finish
Yeah.
that first? So I'm saying, you know, the people that believe in divorce, go be in long-term relationships. Leave marriage for the people that actually believe in for better or for worse, for richer or for poorer, in sickness and in health, till death do us
But
part.
doesn't the sanctity of marriage also rely on the woman being a virgin? So you wouldn't be able to get married.
What do you mean?
Well, you've spoken quite.
Yeah, you know what the fuck she meant. The thing with Pearl that's very easy to for people to get her on is that a lot of the stuff she be talking about, a lot of things she say that women need to do this, women need to be like this, she don't fit the description that she be talking about. So it's like people are not gonna take you serious at all. Matter of fact, that's why they're gonna call you a grifter. They're gonna be like, yo, you bullshitting right now. And yeah, the divorce rate is, what is the divorce rate right now? I forgot. According to the APA, approximately 40 to 50% of first marriages end in divorce. The divorce rate for second marriages is even higher. Yeah, so divorce rate is high, but the thing is, less people are getting married though. In 1970, the marriage rate was 76.5%, and today it stands at just over 31%. So people are getting married less, and the ones that are getting married, they're getting divorced more. Isn't that crazy? But you know, it's part of it is mindset, part of it is like feminism, stuff like that. But a lot of this stuff is like, okay, we're in America, we're very individualist, right? And we're in this era of social media and instant gratification and dopamine overload, shit like that. And online dating and very selectiveness, right? So it's like a lot of people have a mindset of, okay, why would I settle for this when I can have more? Why can I have something better? You know, you see that a lot in women, for sure. And you see it with men too. It's hard to combat that. You know what I'm saying? We can talk about it, but it's hard to combat it because people's mindsets are just different. Back then, life is simple. You know whatever you see, right? Whatever you see is what you know. You're in your neighborhood, you're in a community, you see a girl that you like that's in the same town, you know, y'all fuck with each other, boom, y'all get married, have kids, you go to work, school, work, get a job, boom, you chilling. And you can live a comfy life, pay all your bills and go on vacations and stuff. Now life is a lot more complicated. And it's just, I don't ever see it going back to what it was. You dig what I'm saying?
Openly about how you're not a virgin, and so if you want to preserve that sanctity of marriage, then I just think that you're upholding standards that you don't actually.
And that's a fair complaint. I wish I was.
Piers face,
but
bro.
we can't go back. I don't know what you want me to say.
Yeah, but I just don't think it's fair that you get to be here and you get to be paid for your views, and you're telling other women that they shouldn't be allowed to.
I think.
Hang on. Okay, if I may, at some stage jump in. Isn't the whole point of being a feminist, though, that women are entitled to have their own views?
Absolutely. And
so she's perfectly entitled to her views.
Yeah, but you can't.
You might not like them.
But I'm here to challenge
But isn't she
them.
exercising her right as a... Are you a feminist?
No, I am not.
Really?
No, I wouldn't. Don't go that far.
You don't want to be a feminist?
No, because I think if feminists really believed in equality, but you guys don't, I would love for you. There is an oil rig hiring. There is an engineering
I would actually
firm
love to see
hiring.
Ava Santana on an oil rig.
No, seriously. There is a building being built next to my building. Go do it, feminists. Go do it. And me, I'm
doing the same job that I'm doing right now.
When you find them...
Yeah, there are a lot of like women that talk down on men and stuff, but it's like in this world, bruh, if man wasn't doing what they was doing, you would not be living comfy. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you gotta come at it with a little more respect. Be more grateful. Be more gracious. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna talk down on somebody for doing something that I wouldn't want to do. You know what I mean?
The man you want to get.
But to be honest, I feel like there's
going
gonna be a lot less and less and less of people that do those jobs too. That's the thing. Because I can't, people in my generation, I can't see any of us wanting to go and work an oil rig or shit like that, But again, people do what they got to do for bread, though. So we'll see.
You will be with that man whatever happens the rest of your life.
Yes, for the vows that we're supposed to live by.
How do you know?
That's the thing, though. That's the thing with a lot of people. They say one thing, but when they finally go through the situation, they're like, you know what? Yeah, never mind. Because, people always say, that, when they talk about their choices, people always say, I would do this, I would do that, I would do this, I would do that. But then once you finally do it, you're not the same person that you were before you did it. You know what I mean? Now that you've had the experience has changed you slightly. Every day we're different than how we were before, unless we're doing the same shit over and over again. It'd be funny to see, like, Pearl get in a situation where, like, she did get married, but then shit wasn't going how she liked it no more, and she wanted to leave. Now what? You know what I mean? Now what?
I mean, I think it's a choice. And that's the thing, like, women are so willing to leave marriages because they're not happy. This is not about happiness. The most important thing is the children.
Yeah, lack of commitment was, I think, the biggest percentage. Yeah, lack of commitment was the biggest one.
Problem is we have a modern society where it's me, my feelings, leave when I feel like it, instead of doing what's best for the kids.
Ava, I've got to say, it's a little bit listening to Andrew Tate where some of it I really don't agree with. I don't agree with the vote stuff. When I hear things like that, I think there'll be a lot of people, especially older generation women perhaps, who think, you know what, she's got a point.
Well, I mean, I believe in agency, so I think that if a woman is going to look after her children in divorce, that's absolutely fine. I also believe in your right to speak your mind about it. What I don't understand...
I'd like to
what
say,
I don't
even
understand...
before the 1920s...
They're so annoying. Like, she was doing it and she was doing it. Like, bro, why y'all cutting each other off? Let her finish what she's saying, bro, so we can hear it.
Women...
God damn. Woo. Hold on. I know that's going to sound funny when I come back to it.
could speak openly. This idea that, like, women couldn't talk, the last 500 years. There have been women
I
throughout
know, but the
history
American state
that
education system has failed before, and it's failing now.
There have been women throughout history that have read, written, and been very influential in society.
Okay.
So this idea like women could never do it.
Do you know
don't
what
believe
I
it.
don't understand though is when it gets spiteful, okay? Because
It's not that women could never do it. It would just be harder, bro, because, you know, it's not seen as, even if it's not outright like discrimination or bigotry or whatever, it was mostly just seen as, you know, you're a woman, you know your place. This is not your job. You know what I mean? What you want to be a podcaster or whatever? You know, I mean, ain't no podcast back then, but let's say a woman wanted to do a job that normally wouldn't see women at. Of course, you know, they look down on her, like they're questioning her, like, "Why? What are you doing here? That's not what you're supposed to be doing." That's a real thing. And the same shit with black people, bro. This, you know, I don't know why Pearl trying to act like that's not something that is real or was real. Yeah, whatever.
because you put down a few
I
arguments.
see a lot of like some of these people, these red pill motherfuckers, when they talk about shit like black issues or even women issues and shit like that, they do a little bit of like revisionist history because they don't want to admit anything that would slightly sound like something that someone like a left-wing person would say or a liberal would say. And at that point, it's like, okay, you're not being honest. Your goal isn't honesty and truth. Your goal is just appealing to your base. You know what I mean?
I think are perfectly, like, you know, they're kind of evangelical and they're Christian, but those are your right to say it. What I don't understand is when it kind of seeps into this sort of, you call women fat, you say that they shouldn't have abortions, you say that they have STDs. You know,
I mean, the question is, are they fat? Yes or no?
Why pass
the
that kind
average
of
American
judgment?
woman is 170 pounds. That's objectively overweight.
I mean, let's be honest. We now celebrate morbid obesity.
That's body positive.
Some kind of body positive thing, and it is complete nonsense. So, actually, on that point again, there's a bit of truth in
and
that.
this is the problem. This is the problem.
How have we come to celebrate morbid obesity as body positive?
Well,
it's nonsense.
We're not talking about morbid obese. I was actually watching your podcast earlier, and you spoke to someone who was, I would say, probably a size 12, and you called her fat, obese, and a divorcee.
She was fat, obese, and a divorcee.
wasn't.
I mean, like, I don't know what to say. This is the thing, women, we don't want to live in reality. We don't want to say things that are true. Was she fat? Yes. Was she a divorcee? Yes. These things are just objective facts.
Okay, I'm going to have to objectively...
And she insulted me first. They always do.
I'm going to have to objectively end the debate, but it was an interesting conversation. I think we should get you two back together as a matter of urgency. Thank you very much, Pearl. Thank you, Ava.
Woo! That was 9 minutes. Sheesh. I wonder if he would have her for a full thing like he did with Andrew Tate. I don't know. I'm going to have to objectively end this debate. Pearl is the female hero we all need right now. She's class. To cut back to Piers' face, facts. That was funny. Where in the past period, as though he attacked those opposite of him, now he gives people the opportunity to speak and clarify their views, even when he strongly disagrees. She changed. Piers' face himself about her virginity. Hers is so clear she could talk with facts. The thing is, though, not usually. Facts. Even here, she had nothing to back up her opinion. And when confronted with real stats, she just clams up. She's good at pretending, though. Good for her. She literally presented no facts and argued completely with her feelings. Couldn't even support her own viewpoints. That's funny. That's the thing. That's why I was saying, like, bro, if you're going to say something, you got to back it up. Especially when it comes to conversation. See that? Conversations like this. Because you're just saying stuff and you're bullshitting right now. You're talking out your ass. And you say it strongly. You say it confidently. And really, a lot of times... all you gotta do is all you have to do to get somewhere in life is be confident. You can know nothing, but as long as you're confident, you're gonna convince people, bro. I say it all the time. Let's say you're sneaking in somewhere with like some friends, or whatever. Just act like you're supposed to be here. Every time, if you act like you're supposed to be there, you'll be fine. And that's a lot of what Pearl be doing, bro. She's be saying a lot of bullshit and then says facts or statistics that aren't real or they're misconstrued, or they are real but doesn't really fit the argument that she's trying to make. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. That's why I like Kevin Samuels. I like Andrew Tate, because when they be saying stuff for real, you can tell that there's competence. You can look up what they saying, you see that it's real, right? They back it up. You know what I'm saying? It's like real shit. But with Pearl, it's like, bro, like, you know, and we saw with the Ethan Klein shit, when she was on Ethan Klein, Ethan was just asking a simple question. She's like, come on, bro. Not leader material. Not leader material. But hey, let me know what y'all think in the comments down below. That was just per things on Piers Morgan, and whew, sheesh, boy. I wonder what's gonna happen next. Something's gonna happen soon, I feel like. But yeah, I appreciate y'all for watching. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell down below, and join the Discord in the description box. The link is in the description box down below, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.